G'day YouTube, QuietPenguin here for part 3 of my series on Hearthstone Aggro Hunter. We're currently 3-2, we've just gotten beat up by a couple of mech mage decks, which is pretty annoying. So let's play some more games, hopefully we can finish strong. The Flame Strike that he had in that our last mech mage opponent had was pretty brutal. I feel like that's a pretty good one of in that deck. He also had quite a lot of late game cards. He had the Dr. Boom as well. So it was an interesting list. That might be the deck for me to play next, it seems. The good old mech mage. Alright, Paladin. Let's see. Do your worst, Paladin. Okay, same as before. We're just going to mulligan all of these, try and find a nice aggressive Undertaker draw. These cards in particular, in fact, they're all quite good cards, but they're pretty replaceable. We don't really care if we draw them a bit later on. We just want to maximize our chances of getting that strong Undertaker draw. So that's why I'm mulliganing the lot. And sometimes you get a worse hand. That's just how Hearthstone goes. Thankfully here, his best turn plot. His turn 2 is simply making a 1-1, it's not pinging us, so we're pretty safe just playing out the Leponome here. It has the most power out of our two options, and we can keep the coin to potentially next turn play out an Animal Companion. Let's see what he does. Alright, so he plays a Divine Shield here, which is pretty strong. And now that we've drawn the Mad Scientist, we've got some options. If we get Huffer here, it's particularly bad, the 4-2 with charge. If we were to coin out the Animal Companion, we'd really like to get the 4-4 Taunt guy. Getting the other one would not be too bad, the 2-4, the Lioch one that I can't pronounce. Yeah, so it's a bit of a toss-up here. I feel like because he could trade off with both our cards, we're actually going to take the 66% chance that we get the good one. Yep, and we got the Taunt, which is the best one for us, which means we can attack face with the Leponome. And see, we're geniuses. This deck's easy as to play. Just get the 4-4 every time. Misha. I love these interactive boards. Kill this kite. Bang, 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 bang. Make some carrots. Give me 3 carrots in a row. 3 carrots in a row. Alright, and he just makes a dude and passes, which is pretty good for us. Kill command's turned on now, which we don't particularly want to do. I probably just want to flood out the board a little bit next turn. However, he can play Consecration, which is 2 damage to all enemies, so we probably don't want to go too crazy. Although the good part about this is all our guys do stuff. So we can play out our Death Rattle here. Our other Death Rattle. We want to play this simply because we want to try and set up our secrets as soon as possible. We're going to go face with our 4-4. And normally I would go face here with the Leponome, but because if he consecrates this next turn, then he's actually going to get control of the board. So we just want to trade this in for the Divine Shield, and that way if he consecrates, he still has to trade off with our 2-2. Here's 2-2 into our what would be a 4-2. So it's possible that to play around Consecration, I should have killed off the 1-1. That's okay. In the end, he didn't have it. He had the True Silver Champion instead, which is okay for us. It clears the board. And of course, we get the best possible beast, the Angry Chicken. A lot of skill, guys. It takes a lot of skill to play this deck. Obviously, I'm joking. This card's absolutely terrible. I don't think we even have any ways to trigger it in our deck. The literal only good thing about this card is it's a 1-cost beast to turn on our kill command whenever we need it. Apart from that, it is utter trash. We did get the freezing trap though, which is pretty good here. And he just decides to attack us. So he's probably playing around Explosive Trap by doing that. Yep. So he just wants to get his minions out. He didn't want to expose them all to an Explosive Trap, which makes perfect sense. So here we really just want to put him under as much pressure as possible. He probably has the guy that gives all his Silver Hand recruits +1/+1. +2/+2, sorry. But sadly, our hand is ill-equipped to deal with that. So we just have to hope he doesn't have it. And so we'll play off Low-Fed, cut him off spells, attack his face. And we're basically going to have to hope that what we've got here is enough. And hopefully it is. Yeah, if he does have the guy that pumps all his Silver Hand recruits, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Don't have it, don't have it, don't have it, don't do it, don't do it, don't. No, 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 no. Come on. Don't do it. Quartermaster. Swords galore. Swords for everybody. Okay. Alright, so bounce it. Yeah, take that. Freezing trap that crappy 1/1. Alright, he trades off here, which is exactly what I do. Smash his face. Right, well, our one saving grace here is that we can play high main. He can trade off, deal with it. We'll get left with some 2/2s if he does, though. Hopefully Savannah can save us here. Hopefully he can regain the board. We've only got to do 16 damage. Come on. Alright, trading off. That's a good start. Consecration here is fine. Yep. And he's left with 3 mana. And he plays out that Silver Hand recruit that got freezing trapped. And see, now we're in an okay situation again. The board's pretty clear. And we have high main. Alright. High main number 2. Can you deal with it? The answer should be no. What are you doing? Okay, so Aldor's pretty strong here. 1 attack minion is not as good as a 6 attack minion. I could explain why 6 is better than 1, but honestly it's pretty complicated. Yeah, just kidding, obviously, guys. Okay. So we've got 8 mana here. We probably want to turn off his piloted shredder. So we'll do that with an Ironbeak Owl. We want to play out our Mechanical Yeti, try and get some more board presence going, because this 1/5 is not doing a lot of work. We'll get rid of his 1/1. Now we've got 2 left. Explosive Trap doesn't really do a ton here. I'd rather wait till he maybe plays, say, another one of those muster cards. So we're just going to use our Steady Shot. We want to really use this as often as we can. And so, for the most part, whenever it's a close decision like that, I feel like you should probably lean towards the Steady Shot, simply because you only get to do it once per turn. And it's our most likely way to close out the game here. As you can see with this and a kill command hand, we've already got 7 damage, so we've actually got him dead next turn. He doesn't deal with our board. And that's the same as us attacking directly. Okay, and he has the Guardian of Kings, which is pretty good. But what are you going to do? And he just goes face, which makes sense. And he has 9, 12. He has 13 damage on board, which means we actually need to clean up a little bit, which is pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. So we'll kill off his 1/1 here. Here we just want to get as much power off the board as possible, so we'll trade there. And now, as much as I really want to use this kill command to go to his face, I think we need to use it on his Guardian of Kings, maybe? This guy doesn't even have charge. You suck, Angry Chicken. It is all your fault. Okay, so the main card I'm worried about here is Blessing of Kings. So we could kill command His Guardian of Kings leaving it on 1 health, but if he just goes Blessing of Kings, he actually has 9, 12. So I think we actually need to kill command his 3/3 and just make sure that we stay alive. And so we've got 6 left, so I'll play out this explosive trap, play out a mad scientist, and shoot him in the face. And the Guardian of Kings there was really, really good for him. Definitely got him back in this game. In fact, he's in a commanding position. We have the silence for you. You are no good. You cannot do it. And he screwed up a little bit there. In his ordering, he probably should have attacked first and then played out his guys, but don't feel like we can punish him for that too much, sadly. And we're on 6, which is not ideal considering his board. So we really want to trade off here. So we could silence this. That doesn't really do a whole lot. So I'm pretty sure that our play this turn is going to revolve around Mad Scientist getting us a freezing trap so that he can't kill us. And if that is our play, then we need to work out what else we should be doing. This angry chicken is just making me angry. So we'll play out both of these minions. We're going to need to play out as much as we can. We'll shoot him in the face because we're definitely going to have enough mana to do that. 7, so we can put him at 5 if we attack face, but then of course we'll die on the swing back. So another option here is, so we're going to have to silence this. We're going to need to attack in here and hope that the spare part that we get is really, really good. And giving a minion taunt here seems pretty strong. So I'm actually going to attack in there simply to get it. I'm going to... Sorry, I had to rush out that last little bit. Now, I traded off our Mad Scientist just to make it more likely that we can win because we really need that freezing trap in play so that he can't just attack and kill us in case he does something like Black Knight, which was pretty strong. And now, as you can see, we can actually win here. So I did the taunt on the high main because if you killed it, we'd get its Death Rattle, which would be super relevant. And as you can see in this game, it actually has been. So we've got 9. We've actually got exactly 11 if he can't do anything, if he can't play a taunt or kill a minion. So hopefully he can't. And the fact that he's stumbling here a little bit leads me to think that he doesn't have it. Don't have it, don't have it, don't have it, don't. And we got there. Whew. Alright, and we end up having the Eagle Pawn, the Eagle Horn Bow for the overkill. And we got there. So sorry I had to rush that play out there, guys. The rope was burning. But, as you can see, we got the win. So we're 4-2 at the moment with Aggro Hunter. And let's play another game. Hopefully we can win these last 2 and finish off 6-2, which would be pretty good. Like our only losses so far have been to the Mech Mage deck, which I don't feel like is a terrible matchup. It's probably around the 50-50 mark, might be slightly ahead of them depending on their list. If they're playing those cards like the Flame Strike or the Dr. Boom, then it can be pretty rough for us, because generally what will happen is the board guys, we trade off, you know, each player gets a little bit of damage in here and there, and then it's left to the bombs. And if their bombs are bigger than our bombs, they're probably going to win. Alright, so we're against a Warlock here. Hopefully it's the aggressive version so that I can show you guys how that matchup is. And this hand here is pretty good, but again, I feel like we just want to mulligan the whole lot, trying to find an aggressive Undertaker draw. So let's do it. Undertaker, Undertaker. And so we don't hit an Undertaker, but as you can see, we've still got a pretty solid start. We've got a nice aggressive curve. Hopefully it goes well. Here, again, because he doesn't have any real way to kill off our 1 power dude, he could Mortal Coil it, which we're fine with him doing for his second turn. We're just going to play out our Clockwork Gnome. So as you can see, the plays that you want to make depend on what you're playing against. So against something like a mage, this is certainly not a very good play. And it looks like we're playing against the handlock deck again, which is pretty annoying. So we just want to develop our board, attack face, try and get that early damage in, just like last time. Give me 3 carrots. Alright, so he plays an Ogre Brute here, which is fine. Got a couple options here. We could just try and freezing trap it if we wanted to and get 4 more damage in, or we could just play out a bow. I feel like we want to get as much damage in as possible, so I'm going to play the bow. The bow gets us get more damage in quicker because we've got our second copy, and it's also more mana efficient. Next turn we'll probably be playing trap and our hero power, and then next turn we can coin out Savannah into Savannah, which is pretty good. Hopefully he misses and goes face. Come on. Ah, so lucky. Alright, what does he follow it up with? Zombie Chow, which is actually pretty good. And a Dark Bomb. So Dark Bomb, not too bad, just simply because we get such an efficient trade there. And now we have all the options in the world. And the options that we want to take is we want to develop our board as much as possible. So we'll kill off this Zombie Chow simply because it's going to be able to trade off with whatever we play. And then we've already attacked with a weapon this turn. We don't really want to use a coin yet because we really want to save it for a high main. So we'll just play out our 2 2-drops here. We could play 1 and hero power, but we really just want to develop our board. So we'll play out both. And this is also going to get the rest of our traps out of our deck, which is awesome. He plays a Sludge Belcher, which is not too bad. And screwed up. Buddy, what are you doing? Mate. Alright, so we hit the Explosive Trap, which is not a great trap to have here. We would have much rather the Freezing Trap be in play. Which means we have a couple options. We could just play the Bow and the Freezing Trap and bounce his Sludge Belcher. We're going to have to deal with it sometime anyway. And Savannah Highmane is pretty good at dealing with it. So that's the play we're going to make. So we'll play out our Highmane and pass. If he wants to kill our scientist, mad scientist for free here, we're perfectly okay with that. Because it'll get that freezing trap that we actually wanted the first one to get. And he has a faceless, which is pretty ridiculous right here. And he gets a gold one, which is just super unfair. Okay, and he decides to just pass the turn, which makes a lot of sense. So here we can actually attack, kill that off, kill what's left with our mad scientist. And we've got a couple options here. We can either play a second Highmane, or we can start to get our bow going. So we're going to play the bow, attack his face. We'll play out a freezing trap here, just to maintain our board control. And then our last question is whether or not we want to play out the Undertaker. So if we do play the Undertaker here, that will play into a Hellfire, which would not be really good for us here. But apart from that, we really just want to get as much damage on the board as possible. And the fact that our only other Death Rattle minion costs 6 here, which is not enough to get it out of Hellfire range, means that I probably just want to play it. Right, attack face, attack face, attack face. Actually, it doesn't matter which one you attack. So we probably want you to not attack face. Let's keep that explosive trap around. So, right, so he's got a heal bot, gets some more life, which is fine. Recombobulator, which is a pretty cool card. And gets a pretty good one there. And he decides to just pass. which is interesting. So we have potentially 3, 9, 11, 12. So we have 17 damage in our hands. So we're pretty happy just playing another high main here and attacking his face. We have enough traps in play that we're unlikely to die next turn, especially not from 30. And if he taunts some of his dudes, then he's not going to be able to attack because of our traps. And that's actually pretty clever here, attacking with that, just simply because we're going to bounce it. But drawing that kill command there means that we're really, really favoured to win this game. Especially with this board. I mean, we have so much damage. We have 2, 5, we have 8. So we have 13 just there without attacking with a single minion. Of course, he needs to attack with a minion. And we do need to attack with a weapon. But hey, hey, hey. That's a lot of damage, man. Don't argue with the damage. Alright, so he just wants to kill off our high main. He wants the gold one to be the only one in play, because rich kids are spoiled, yo. Alright. Let's see what he has. I'm pretty sure we've got this next turn, but let's see. Alright, so he silences our high main. What a jerk. Kills it. What a jerk. And plays a sludge belcher. So, alright, so we drew the silence off the top, which is pretty lucky. I'm not going to lie. So we just silence his taunt and attack him for 1 million. Give him the well played, because that's what friends do. And we got it. We got you to 1. So close. I have this kill command. Gotcha. Alright, guys. Let's play one more game. We're currently 5-2 with Aggro Hunter. We're doing pretty well. Let's see if we can win our last game, though. Alrighty. Bring it on. Now, I haven't played a ton of Hunter decks, to be honest. As you can see there, I only had like 49 wins or something. I play a lot of Arena. But yeah, I haven't played a ton of Hunter. But hey, we're doing alright anyway. We're 5-2. And this is a really cheap deck to craft. I'll put a link down in the video to the deck list, and you can see exactly how much dust it costs, but it's not very much. It doesn't contain any legendaries, so with the class cards and stuff, I'd be surprised if it was over 1600. It does have low fed, but of course he's a Naxxramas card. Alright, again, we just want to mulligan everything. Try and find that aggressive Undertaker draw. We're against another Warlock. Not the same guy. Last guy was called Gamble. And we don't hit any 1-drops, which is pretty rough. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Alright, hopefully this guy is Zoo. Do we want to see? Yep. Alright, so he's probably playing the Mech Zoo Warlock deck, which is fine with us. We have the explosive trap in hand, which is important to note because it means that this guy is getting nothing but freezing traps, which is not particularly great right now, so we're just going to play out on the floor. And we shall see what happens. So we didn't really want to do either of these. We want to try and develop our board if possible. So it was really between Loot Hoarder and the Mad Scientist here. And the fact that he drew a card there is really interesting. It's more likely though that he's still a mech deck who just didn't have a 2-drop for whatever reason, than another copy of Handlock, simply because Handlock doesn't really play Clockwork Gnome. Nor should it. Okay, so we simply get to trade here, draw a card, see what we draw. Hopefully it's Animal Companion. It is not, but it is a very good card. We'll play out our Mad Scientist, and now we have control of the board. So the tempo is firmly with us, and if this guy dies, somehow we're going to get those freezing traps, which is just going to let us maintain this board presence. And we also have the sick curve of Yeti into Loatheb into High Main, which is just awesome. And very, very difficult to beat. Alright, so he plays Undertaker, yeah, into Haunted Creeper. Pretty good turn 3 for him. But we don't care. So here we could do a few different things. We could play the bow. We don't really want to kill command. We could play like Explosive Trap and Hero Power. But we just want to play the Yeti. We just want to develop our board. We've got such a strong curve coming up. If this Mad Scientist dies, we're going to get those freezing traps, which is just going to put us even further ahead. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to attack face here because there's no point us trading. We control the board. We've got the tempo. It's up to him to trade. Alright, so things are looking good. We're going to win this last game. You can do it, Hunter. I believe in you. Okay, so he just trades off. We get our trap, which of course bounces this. He can just replay it, and he'll get an extra buff on his Undertaker, but it takes his whole turn. And we've still got firm control of the board, so we don't really care if he does that. Now, if he does that, the interesting question becomes like we'd play Loatheb next turn, but whether or not we actually want to kill off the Undertaker. Here I'm pretty sure we do just want to kill that Undertaker. Just because of the card advantage aspect. So we're going to kill this off, play a Loatheb. And we've still got that really strong board control. He can trade off here if he wants to. But we've got the High Main next turn, so it's pretty unlikely that we're going to lose control of the board from here. Knife Juggler is not too bad. Second Knife Juggler, less good. And he has the pump to trade off here. And he misses a shot, but he still has 2 more shots. So this was actually a pretty strong turn for him. Let's see what he gets. What does this guy do? And he got there. The end of your turn, restore 4 health to your hero. Okay. Okay, so here his whole board can be wiped out by an Explosive Trap. So let's play an Explosive Trap. And then to go along with that, we want to play out our bow. And we actually just want to wipe out this minion here because it's not going to die to our Explosive Trap. And it's going to heal all that extra damage that we've done. So there's no point really going face when he's just going to heal it anyway. And we don't really want to play either of these out. There's not much point freezing anything. And if we play this, he's probably just going to play a minion and kill it with the Knife Juggler. So that was a pretty good turn for him. He's certainly regained the board. And thankfully we have the counter. Alright, so he swaps that over, which is pretty good. Saves his dude as best he can. We've still got a lot of value there. And he's left with a lone 2-1 Knife Juggler, but he does have 5 mana, so let's see what he does. Do your worst, Warlock. Do your worst. Alright, another piloted Shredder. Alright, so he's doing a pretty decent job of maintaining the board. So here we can just kill off the Knife Juggler and play like a Sludge Belcher and Hero Power. We probably don't really want to go the High Main here quite yet, just because it's kind of mana inefficient. Our other option actually is to play High Main and freeze this, which actually seems really strong. So I think that's the play we'll make. We'll kill off the Knife Juggler, play a High Main and freeze his minion. As you can see, there's some plays like that play I didn't immediately think was amazing. But taking that extra 10 to 15 seconds to just think through your play, see exactly what you want to do can be really, really helpful, as you saw there. And he's starting to life tap now. And if he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand and feels the need to life tap, I feel like we're probably winning. Simply because every time he's making himself take damage, we can make him take damage. It's pretty strong. Alright, so he just stealths that, which is fine. Yeah, and he realizes that was a mistake. So we can start to trade off the board here, or we can just play a Sludge Belcher and an Animal Companion. Sludge Belcher here is going to be pretty difficult for him to deal with, and we've got just so much going on in our hand that we're probably happy just going face with this high main. But let's play our Animal Companion first, see what we get in case it influences our decision. Okay, so we'll play out the Sludge Belcher here. And giving that 1 extra power, making it trade off with his Ogre Brute's really strong. So I actually just want to attack his face here. And pass the turn. We want to keep our weapon around to kill off his Voidwalker next turn, and as you can see, we're in a pretty commanding position here. Of course, then he goes and does that, which is really, really strong. Makes me wish we'd traded off. But we'll see how this goes. He gets to trade that off. It's really annoying. And then gets to eat it, which is super, super annoying. He gets a trade here now if he wants. One problem with the Hunter deck is we really don't have any sweeper type effects. Like as you can see, if we had like a Hellfire type effect or a Consecration here, would be in really, really good shape, but we don't. We're not doing too badly though here. I mean, we've got him down to 3 cards. We can clear off most of his board this turn. So overall, pretty good. And so here, we just want to deal with his taunts. So we'll kill, trade off here. We can't afford to have a Wind Fury guy on the board. Now we want to have less damage on this guy. Although we can't really do much about that. We need to kill off this Alpha. And kill off his 3-2. And I mean, now the board's relatively even. Except we get to shoot him in the face and play a ton of dudes. There's not much point kill commanding here. We'd rather try and use it to get to his face. So we'll just pass the turn. This also gives us a nice out if he plays like a giant minion. Another thing, if you guys could comment on, I've seen on some streams that they can make this weird hex crystal thingy vibrate, and I have no idea how to do that. So I know that you can like spin this, get some sludge out. You can play with this sludge, but I know how to break the crystal, but I don't know how to make it vibrate and go crazy. So if anyone knows how to do that and could comment below, that'd be fantastic, because I'd really like to know how to do that. Okay, so he just Dark Bombs to kill off our Lyoch. And then trades off some dudes. We had a Freezing Trap, which is not really that good here. We're going to have to be careful. We really don't want him to get another use of his Defender of Argus. Now it is worth noting that we have 2, 4, 6, currently have 10 damage. We're just going to kill that. Shoot him, and hopefully if we draw a cheap beast we might just actually be able to kill him here with the double kill command. But otherwise, if we don't draw a cheap beast over the next couple of turns, we might actually be in a little bit of trouble. We've certainly got time. Time is on our side, but he does have 6 cards in hand. At least 1 is a spare part. Oh yeah, that's pretty gross for us. So he's going to rebuild his board pretty quickly here. So we need to turn this into 10 damage rather than 6. As quickly as we can. Ooh, okay. So now he needs to kill us very, very quickly. Okay, he is going all out. He didn't use the coin yet, wow. Okay, so he plays a taunt. Do we LNK? And so we don't get our cheap beast, which means we need to do some math. So he's currently got 3, 5, 7, 8 damage. So we'd need to get 11 in 1, 2, and if he hero powers 3 cards. So I'm pretty willing to gamble here that he can't do. How much did we say? 3, 5, 8. So I'm willing to gamble that he can't do 11 damage in the 3 cards that he has access to, which means that we don't really want to use these to kill off minions. So I'm pretty happy just shooting him. Playing an Undertaker, we'll give it a buff and pass the turn. So as long as he doesn't have any life gain here, we've got him dead next turn. Even if we don't draw a beast, we can just kill command, and hero power. And if for some reason he was able to gain enough life here, we can just use the kill commands to kill off his minions. Yep, that doesn't look like he can kill us. And he doesn't have the life gain here. So we win. So these kind of matchups are pretty 50-50. As you can sort of see, it comes down to the draws. But yeah, we managed to get there this time. So we finished off 6-2 with Aggro Hunter, which is a pretty good record, I think, for the deck. Pretty strong. And it's really cheap to put together, guys. And as you can see, it's not too difficult a deck to play, and it's pretty strong in the meta right now. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what deck you'd like to see next. Okay, thanks, guys.